Hey folks, Eric Prey, Focus Fishing Guide Service. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Tuesday, March the 20th. Been on the water quite a bit actually. A few trips on Taneycomo, a few trips on Table Rock, kind of a spring break thing going on. As far as our lake level is concerned, we are at 914.55. Core really, I guess it was yesterday afternoon, really kind of slowed the releases down. They're down to about half a unit, give or take. Mostly all day long, so they are still running a little bit of water, but not nearly as much as they were the last couple of weeks. They've got the lake level back in control. They've got beaver pretty much taken care of, and bull shoals is still a little bit high, but it's coming down as well. As far as our water temperature, we're right at about that 50-degree mark. You'll find some water as warm as 53, 54 up in the rivers where you've got a little bit more stain. But in the clearer water of, say, the dam area, lower end of the lake, you're right around 50, maybe 51 in the afternoon. We've had a couple of cold nights, so it has knocked that temperature down. I think it's supposed to get down around 32, 33 tonight, so that'll knock that temperature back down and pretty much keep it right around that 50-degree mark. We do have a string of warm weather coming in, so it should definitely warm that water temperature up by the weekend and really should get the fish moving. But we are catching a lot of fish. The bite has definitely turned on. It's much better than it was 2 weeks ago. It's better than it was last week. Really starting to see fish move up shallow. But if you guys are coming down, say you're going to fish the lower end of the lake, got several bites that are working right now. Still doing well with a stick bait right now. Doing really well with the Spromic stick or the Megabass Vision 110. Most of those fish seem to be on the insides of the spawning pockets, just inside the points. So we are catching quite a few fish there. Catching fish on a crankbait as well. Wigglewort, rock crawler, that sort of thing. Seems like the fish are in that about 5 to 8 foot range. And again, they're on those points, inside those points, like they're moving up to spawn. They are definitely not doing that yet, but they are starting to transition, starting to move up on the points and starting to show up on the insides of those spawning pockets. Doing well with a rock crawler, doing well with a wigglewort, and doing well with a curve 55. I had a few guys tell me they couldn't really tell what I was talking about when I said the curve 55. It is curve made by 6 cents, number 55. You can find that bait at Tackle Warehouse, Sportsman's here in Springfield, and a few other locations, but you can, it is a 6 cents curve 55. We're also starting to catch them on a swim bait quite a bit and a grub, doing well with the 2.8 Kitech Fat Impact and doing well with the Bass Pro 4-inch XPS grub. Both of those on a 1/4 ounce head, open hook, and basically just swimming it. Haven't really been scrubbing it that much. Fish really aren't on the gravel. Seems like everything has got to have a little bit of rock mixed into it, even with the crankbait and the stick bait. If you got a little rock, a little ledgy stuff mixed in, you'll catch more fish. So try to stay on those ledgy, steeper banks, more into those pockets. And then we're also catching them on a Ned rig, using the Jewel Ned head and matching it up with, I've been using the Bass Pro Shops Sticko, cutting it in half. Really just about any color you like is working on the Sticko. I like throwing just a green pumpkin, but just about any color in that will work. Cut that thing in half, slide it on there and throw it out there, drag it along the bottom, hop it a little bit. We have been catching a few on a Ned rig as well. Move up into the mid-lake, and same bites are working. Doing well with the curve 55, the rock crawler, and the wigglewort on rocky, ledgy type banks, mixed with a little bit of gravel. Points are a little bit better than the banks are, and again, those points leading back into the spawning pockets have been key. Fish seem to be in about that 5 to 8 foot range. You do better paralleling, so make a parallel cast inside that pocket and you'll catch a lot more fish than if you're throwing it directly at the bank. Doing well with the stick bait still hanging on with a stick bait bite, Vision 110 or the Spromic stick. Both of those, again, catching them inside the pockets. Most of the fish are right inside the pockets, so make sure you're targeting inside the pockets. Rocky rock mixed with gravel seems to be better than just straight gravel or straight rock. Ledge rock seems to be a little bit better as well. I'm doing good with the Jewel spider jig there as well. Again, everything, it really feels like these fish are starting to move. They're really starting to move up. They're not spawning yet. They're not cruising the banks yet, but we are starting to see fish definitely move up and start staging before they're going to spawn. I'd say within the next 2 to 3 weeks we'll have a lot more fish staging, but we're catching them on a Jewel Pro spider jig, 5/16 Okeechobee blue with either a UV beaver or a speed crawl as a trailer on that, and then the swim bait bite as well. Kitech 2.8 has been my best bait. Sexy Shad's been the best color on a 1/4 ounce head, and throwing it in those same areas, maybe backing off just a little bit and throwing it out to about 10 foot. If you get a windy day, it seems like that Kitech bite is a lot stronger than on a calm day. Go up into the James River, and my best 2 baits up there are definitely a jig and a crankbait. Doing really well with the Jewel Pro Spider jig. Okeechobee Blue, Green Pumpkin Candy are my 2 best colors up there. Even in that stain water, it really seems like the Okeechobee Blue is shining. Have been throwing some other darker colors like a black and blue or a Missouri Craw, but really I'm catching more on the Okeechobee Blue than anything else. 5/16, targeting those fish on the ledgy banks leading back in the spawning pockets, catching quite a few fish, anywhere from about 3 to about 10 foot deep. Really seems like early in the morning they're shallow. When you get a sunny day like today, they will back off a little bit, but the sunshine is helping that bite. If I get a windy day, I'm doing better with a crankbait. The 6 cents Curve 55, the Wigglewort, or the Rock Crawler have all been working, again, 3 to 8, maybe 10 foot deep. Hit those windy pockets, hit those windy points leading into the pockets. We're really catching a lot of fish up there on that. Guys, if you are going up the James, remember that it is snagging season, and remember, if you're within 100 feet of a boat that's idling and snagging, you have to shut down and come down to an idle. If you are 100 feet or closer, you have to shut down and idle. That is a state law, so remember that if you're going to run up the James this weekend. Up in the White River, all the same bites are working in the White River they're working in the rest of the lake. Still catching them on a stick bait, Vision 110, Spro Mix stick, anywhere from about 3 to about 8 feet deep. Not really working out there that much deeper like we have been the last few weeks. Throwing it in those pockets, twitching it, letting it sit for about 3 to 5 seconds is all you need to let it sit. Catching them on that, catching them on a crankbait as well, Rock Crawler, Curve 55, and the Wigglewort. Ledgy type banks, ledgy rock mixed with gravel really seems to be best. Points are definitely better that lead into spawning pockets than just a straight line of bank. These fish are starting to stage up in there, and again, they're about 3 to 8 feet deep. Jigs working up there as well. Jewel Pro Spider jig doing better with the 5/16 and the 7/16. Okeechobee Blue, Green Pumpkin Candy, both are good with either a beaver or a Zoom Speed Craw as a trailer. And then the Kitech, catching a lot of fish on a Kitech up there as well. 2.8's definitely been my best size, and Sexy Shad's been the best color. So we are catching quite a few on a 1/4 ounce head, and using the Bass Pro XPS grub as well. That is working up there on a 1/4 ounce head as well. A lot of fish starting to show up there. I really think these fish are going to move to gravel in the next week, and you'll start to see a lot more fish coming on a grub, coming on a swim bait. Once those fish move to gravel, get on those windy gravel points, and you'll catch a lot of fish with either a grub or a swim bait. Guys, it is halfway through March. Spring break is, I guess it's about halfway over. We got a few schools that are still coming on spring break the next couple of weeks. Been really busy these last few weeks. Going to be real busy through April. We are just now getting into the best part of the season to go fishing. We're going to see a lot of fish caught over the next 2 months. So good time to figure out when you're going to come to town, if you want to hire a guide or not, if you want to learn how to do any of these different techniques. Going to have a great Ned rig bite, I'm sure, this year. It's going to be a fun time to go fishing here over from now through the end of June. We're going to catch a lot of fish. If you guys are thinking about coming down, maybe you want to hire a guide, maybe you want to go out with a guide the first day you're here. Maybe you bought a house down here and you're kind of struggling to catch fish since you bought the house. If that's the case, you want to hire a guide, give me a call. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743 or hit my website, focusfishing.com. Shoot me an email. We'll figure out dates and times, or you can book online. However you want to do it, I get back to you as soon as I can. Well, guys, thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for taking the time to subscribe. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.